You know that feeling, right? You have this brilliant idea, a goal you're super passionate about, but then, weeks later, it's just gathering dust. You're definitely not alone. It's like there's this huge gap between dreaming about something and actually doing it. Well, what if you could actually rewire your brain to close that gap for good in just 21 days? Let's dive into a blueprint that shows you exactly how. I think this image just says it all. We have these amazing ambitions over here, but then there's this giant canyon between us and getting there. It honestly feels like being stuck in quicksand sometimes, where the more you struggle and think, the faster you sink. And that paralysis, that's the exact problem we're going to solve. And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the lazy dreamer. Now, they're not really lazy, but they get trapped in this endless cycle of planning. They do all the research, make the perfect to-do list, but they never actually take that first step. And then you have the action taker. They might not have a perfect plan, but they get one thing right. They understand the power of just starting. Okay, so here's the exciting part. That gap, it's not a permanent canyon you can't cross. It's totally bridgeable. You just need the right strategy and, more importantly, the right mindset. This isn't about waiting for some magical bolt of motivation to strike. It's about building a solid, systematic bridge, piece by piece. And what if I told you that you could build that entire bridge in just 3 weeks? Yep, 21 days. That's the time frame we're looking at. It's just long enough to actually forge a new habit, but it's short enough that it doesn't feel completely overwhelming. It's manageable. And this brings us right to the blueprint itself. This is a structured, day-by-day plan to shift your mind from that default of an action to one of consistent action. And look, the key here is that we're not trying to rely on willpower. We all know that runs out. The goal is to fundamentally reprogram the way you operate. The whole 21-day journey is broken down into 3 simple phases. First up is awareness, because let's be real, you can't change what you don't even see. Then we move into action, where the goal is to build unstoppable momentum with tiny, non-negotiable steps. And all of that momentum leads to the final phase, transformation. This is where those new actions actually change who you believe you are. So, let's start at the very beginning, with the foundation. Phase 1 is all about getting crystal clear vision. You can't really fix a leaky faucet if you don't know where the leak is coming from, right? Same idea here. Now, the most important part of this entire phase is that little phrase at the end, without judgment. This is not the time to beat yourself up for procrastinating. Your job here is to just become a neutral observer of your own behavior. Think of yourself like a scientist, just gathering data on your habits. No emotion, just observation. So this is the real work in phase 1. The next time you feel that pull to put something off, just pause and ask yourself, why? What's really going on? Is it a fear of failure? Does the task just feel way too big? Are you grabbing your phone out of habit? Pinpointing these triggers is the absolute first step to taking away their power. All right, so once you have all that clarity from phase 1, it's time to build on it. In phase 2, we make the big shift from just watching to actually doing, but we're going to do it in a very specific, very deliberate way. This quote right here, this is the entire philosophy of phase 2. And the key words are without negotiation. That means you don't have a debate with yourself. You don't ask your brain if it feels like it. You just do the thing. The goal isn't perfection, it's just pure, simple motion. And here's how you do it. First, you start ridiculously small. I'm talking so small it feels silly, like just putting on your running shoes. Then you do it every single day. Consistency is everything. And you learn to just shut down that inner lawyer that wants to debate everything. You just focus on the physical act of doing, not the outcome. Just get the pen to the paper. That's it. So after a couple of weeks of this, awareness and then daily action, something really profound starts to happen. You enter this final phase where all those little changes start to become permanent. Honestly, this is where the magic really kicks in. And this is the most important idea to grasp. All those small, consistent actions you took in phase 2, they weren't just about ticking boxes on a to-do list. They were evidence. Every single action was like casting a vote for a new identity. This is where you shift from just doing things to fundamentally being a different kind of person. You are literally rewriting the story you tell yourself. You stop seeing yourself as, ugh, I'm a person who always procrastinates. Instead, you start seeing yourself as, I'm a person who takes action. Your own actions have built this new identity. And guess what? That new identity makes taking action in the future feel completely natural. It's just who you are now. So let's just put it all together real quick. In phase 1, you focus on observing your habits to get clarity. That clarity then lets you move to phase 2, where you focus on building momentum through tiny actions. And finally, that momentum leads you to phase 3, where you are now being a new person because you forged a new identity. See how it all connects? Clarity leads to momentum, and momentum builds your identity. So you see, this journey from dreamer to doer, it's not some big mystery. It's a process. It's a system. The blueprint is right here in front of you. So the only real question left is the one on the screen. Who will you become when you decide to start?